So, easy question. First, we're gonna start with what's your name and introduce yourself.
Man, how y'all doing? My name Johnathan Montrel. Johnathan Johnboy Montrel.
All right. So, where are you from?
I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, out the AWOL.
What was your child like growing up in New Orleans and AWOL?
I was pretty cool, you know. Well, you know, I had a lot of fun, also a lot of fights. So a little bit of both, you know. But if I had any fights coming up in the neighborhood, we pretty much probably started it for the most part.
So did you grow up with both your parents?
For a minute, till my dad went to prison. And then when he got out, my mom and dad was separated.
So how do you feel like that affected you in any way, good or bad?
Yeah, a whole lot. You know, because my daddy left at like a point in time in life. So, you know, around the time I was hitting middle school, you know, when you probably like need him the most. And he probably came out when I was like 16, 17.
So, all right, so going towards that, what high school did you go to, you know, and how was your high school experience?
High school, I started off at Kennedy. That was pretty cool, nice little laid-back school, fun. Then Hurricane Katrina hit. I came back, I went to McMain for like a year. And then my 11th and 12th grade year, I graduated from John Mac. And that shit was wild, for real.
What you mean by wow? How was that wild for you?
That was a wild school, bro. I ain't gonna lie, it was fun. You know, I had a good time. I vibed with a lot of real people there, you heard me? But that was a wild little school.
All right, so what did you do following high school, following those times?
What you say?
What did you do following high school, right after high school?
Right after high school, it's running around the streets, you know, wasting a lot of time pretty much. Shooting dice, hustling, you know, just wasting time for the most part. But I was still boxing. I started boxing at like 20, you know, so about 25 I started taking it a little more seriously. And then I just let everything go. Anything dealing with street stuff, just left it behind, you know.
So what clicked for you to just say, I'ma start taking this serious? Like I'ma just quit all whatever else I'm doing and focus on this one thing?
I was switching over from amateurs to going pro around that time also. And so I know I need to take it a little more serious, just be real focused, you know, and locked in. And just don't have no more time to waste, and then have a lot of friends, you know, that's dead or in jail. So, you know, just being in the streets is only lead two ways, you know, for the most part.
Wait, you gotta push me. I'll be having to take the pictures of the. All right. So, I mean, it's kind of going into what we just said. So, is there anything specific besides you just seeing like the people that's close to you or friends or whatever? Are you just getting tired of that life that pushed you or inspired you specifically to take this road on its own and just say this is what I'm gonna do for my life, just in general? Is there anything else besides that, besides noticing everything else that was going on that wasn't gonna lead you anywhere else?
You talking about dealing with like boxing and
Yeah.
stuff? Well, yeah, boxing is something I really want to do, you know. I also work for my mom, you know, at Neo's. She paid me well, you know, like a doctor. I could sit there and just work by my mom and have a great living, you know, but boxing is something I really want to do. I have more passion in boxing, and boxing don't even pay me yet like my mom paid me, you know, so just one day I just hopefully, you know, gotta stay dedicated and focused, and that's my fate is all in boxing, you know.
So what's the hardest or most difficult part about you training for a fight?
The hardest is waking up day by day when your body in pain by probably like Wednesday, because you put in probably like 5-6 hours Monday, and then you double back Tuesday, and you got sparring, maybe swimming, all type of stuff, you know, just that day alone. By the time Wednesday come, you probably burnt out. You have to keep going. It's only Wednesday. You have to make it to at least Saturday. You might take a break on Sunday, you know, for the most part.
What do you, because you mentioned working at the restaurant at Neo's and also boxing, what similarities do you feel like they have with each other as far as preparing for the day or the week or what's like coming up? Because you know, you just talked about pretty much it's hard. If you're hurt, you still gotta go.
Right.
So, are there any similarities in that regarding to also the restaurant and how that works?
Yeah, comparing the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much preparation is everything. You know, before we work, we prep a few things before we open. If we don't have them certain things before we open, we'll be behind. You know, just like training. If we're not prepping right, like with sparring, doing the right amount of hours in the gym, we're not gonna be prepared for the, you know, for the fight. You know.
So preparation is everything.
It's everything. Yes.
So in regards to your recent loss, what positive lesson did you take away because so many people give up at the first sign of adversity?
You said that question one more time? Okay.
So in regards to your recent loss, what positive lesson did you take away because so many people give up in the first sight of adversity?
Well, so man, just a little recap on that fight, man. When I went down, it was just so surprisingly. I've never been down ever, you know. I've been boxing with 11 years now. I'm talking about from sparring to amateur fights to pros. So it was a shocker. It was normally a shot I could normally take. The shot wasn't even hard, so when I took it, one thing I learned from that situation is I would have took a little longer to get up, you know, instead of getting up quick because I didn't know my legs wasn't gonna be there. But after the fight was over, to answer your question, some people was like, man, keep your head up. And I just want to let the people know my head is never down because I'm chasing my dreams, you know. So I'd rather get knocked down 1,000,000 times before I stop chasing my dreams. So I'm going to keep going, you know. I was just disappointed because I didn't get to showcase my talent that night, you know. But my head is never down, you know, so.
Right, perfect. So what can we look forward to from you in the future?
Just some more exciting fights to come, more big fights, you know, fights for belts, you know, fights for more money, maybe some more fights in the city, and they all gonna be exciting, bro. And I learned a lot from, you know, just from that fight alone, you know. So.
Anything that you feel like?
Can you talk a little bit about the new venture, the Cruise Energy drink?
Oh well, you know, the Cruise Energy is also was thinking stuff, you know, outside of boxing because even though that's my first love, boxing over anything, I'd rather box before I do whatever, you know. But that don't last forever, you know, and you just never know. It could be one fight, you know, that could take you out. And so I was just thinking about, you know, I had my son, and I was just thinking about, you know, this generational wealth and just try to build, you know, some income for my family. I was just thinking, and I hit my father-in-law up. I was like, man, what you think about, because he started a water line before, and I know he knew the routes were gone about this, so I hit him up, you know, and he's pretty good with business. Me and them went in partnership together, and we came up with the energy drink, and we named it after my son. Well, that's his middle name, Cruz.
And you mentioned your son. Can you talk about a little bit how fatherhood changed you?
Oh man, fatherhood, man, just it make you lock in even more, you know, just make you know you don't have no time to waste. You're really trying to do it for, I'm trying to give him everything, you know, in this world, you know. We don't have no time to waste. You just never know where you're going to go, you know. We'll be here today and gone today, you know, and I just want them to enjoy life while you're here. So he changed me a lot. He made me very dedicated, very focused, and the list goes on, really.
So it sounds like, I mean, because you have a lot going on, and I don't know if you notice it, like just from you speaking and from you talking to us, like you have the boxing career going on, you have the restaurant going on, and then you start a new venture with your with the Cruise Energy. Then you also got your son, you know, everything going on. How do you handle everything, and as far as keeping it all together and moving forward and doing what you got to do to excel in all these things?
Honestly, I feel like I'm not doing enough, you know, to be real with you. So what I'm doing now is not no pressure, you know, and I have a good team around me. Down to my friends, to people that's actually helping me, that's in partnership with me with the drinks and all that. Even with boxing, just everyday life, I have a good team around me. So I guess it takes a lot of pressure off, you know.
Dope. So what in your experience, what do you feel like what makes New Orleans New Orleans within itself?
New Orleans, well, definitely the culture of New Orleans. You know, it's nothing like it. You know, you could be from wherever. You know, you come in New Orleans, everybody love the second line. You know, it's a little hood down there, but you know, besides all the hood stuff, man, we have a good time down here, man.
And what experience would you that you could only say that what happened in New Orleans that you have experienced?
Mardi Gras. Pretty much.
What's so special about Mardi Gras to you as far as that?
Wait, what you
What's
say?
so special about Mardi Gras compared to everywhere else that you ever been to?
Bro, Mardi Gras is a special day, man. Like, before the pandemic, you know, we'd be so spurred about, you probably be like, man, I ain't going out there next year. You know, I'm done with it. But when that pandemic hit and you realize that thing was missing for a year, you know, Mardi Gras is special. You know, you know, you love it. You know, down to the balls, down to the parades and everything, you know.
I got another question for you, JB. Me knowing you personally and knowing the long-standing friendships you have, can you just talk about like the camaraderie and brotherhood you have with your partners you have for a long time, how important it's been to you, you know, moving forward in life and just sticking with your same homies you've been with?
Well, that's a blessing, you know, to be sticking with a lot of homies from back in the days, bro, because a lot of people be out here conniving, bro, no good. And, bro, I just want to give it up to all my homies because, man, a lot of my homies right now is doing excellent, you know, just like they doing their thing out here. Bro, I got partners I got a few on back here, you know, I'm interviewing one, he interviewing me in the store. I got one selling clothes back there that's sitting behind me, you know, and one do art behind me. And this is a tattoo also guy, you know, it's 1832, it's by a barbershop we used to hang at all the time. So a lot of people affiliated, even if they ain't hanging there every day, there's a lot of people tied to the people around there. And I got it to symbolize the love for all my homies, for real.
Perfect. So the last question is, what would you tell your younger self or even a youth right now? What advice would you give them?
Get out of the streets. If you're in them, and go to school. If you know, school you're out. Just get a job, find something to do, make you some money. Don't waste any time out there. You know, for the most part. Don't waste time. The streets is no good.
One more question. I need you to tell me a story that's like unique to you, that's something like a crazy story that only would happen in New Orleans. I know you got one, whether by Uncle D, from Montrel, something crazy.
Oh boy, I got 2 minutes of them stories. Let me see, dog. Dog, son. One time we were at my grandma's house. I'm gonna tell this one because Cam know this one. So my dad hangs with some weird fellas, you know. Some of them little crackheads, whatever, you know. They had one come by my grandma's house. So they moving some stuff, moving some furniture and stuff. So my grandma got one of them big ass TVs, you know, one of them old school TVs with the big old booty in the back. So it was just small. But my dad, the man, like, man, I'm telling my dad I need help. His partner like, get out the way, I got it. You know, he a drunk, about to fall out, he barely moving. He telling me, I got it. My dad tell him, man, that TV weighed 5,000 pounds. He said, I bet you can't pick that TV up. He said, man, how much you want back to pick that TV up? So they bet it maybe like $50. All of some type of way. This man got it from my grandmother. Steps, you know, got like 4 steps. Went down the first 4 flights of steps, down to the second step. He got it all the way up the truck. But the story is better. He got it to the truck. So they double up. They got to bring it to the next house. They got to bring it to my cousin Elvin's house. He live up a flight of steps. Son, so he got the TV out the car. Going up the steps, he fell back with that motherfucker. The man ended up in the hospital, bro.
Fucking with Uncle D.
Son, there's a lot of crazy stories though. For real though. Ended up in the hospital though.
One of the few, dog. Fucking with Uncle D, dog.
The funny thing is, I'm gonna find that video. I'm gonna tag y'all on Instagram so y'all can see the whole play. I know I can find it.
Oh man, anything else? Or you?
That's straight.
All right, tell everybody where they can find you at, find your endeavors or whatever on social media or the internet.
Instagram _peoples_champ.
All right, that's the only one.
Pretty much it's the same on Twitter.
Only in New Orleans.